my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please subscribe to our channel. Oftentimes people want to know what happens with child support as it relates to parenting time and custody. What is the interplay between the two things? A lot of times the public knows from their experience either through the friend of the court, through information that they got online, through listening to our videos. Watching our videos, people can get the information and realize that support in a very large measure is related to the amount of overnights you spend with your kids. It's sort of a relationship of inverse proportion. The less overnight your kids spend with you, the more your support. As the kids begin to spend more overnights with you, your support lowers. Really, it makes sense because you're talking about consumption. If the kids are spending a lot of time with the other parent, they have a bill. Anybody who's ever had teenage kids that eat 6 meals a day know what kind of bill that is. So therefore, it would be appropriate that they get more help from the other parent in the way of child support. On the other hand, if the kids are spending more time with the other parent, if you're not in a situation where your consumption is so high, it might support less child support. And so the guidelines are kind of weighted that way. Now, the question becomes that it's not only based on how many overnights with mom and dad, but it's also based on the incomes. And you see, a lot of people are under the mistaken impression that if husband makes the same amount of money as wife, that means no support. They're a wash. They both have the same amount of money to live on. That's not true though, because how much money the parties make is only one part of the analysis. You got to look at how much money the respective parties make, and more importantly to this calculation, how many overnights the kids spend with mom, how many overnights with dad. I will tell you this, even in a situation where mom makes much more money than dad, if mom has the custody, dad's going to still be paying child support. Now, admittedly, as the custodial parent's income goes up and the non-custodial goes down, the numbers will change. Who knows what that support will be? You run Michigan guidelines and you see what it'll be. It may only be 50 cents. It doesn't matter what it is. The point is, somebody's paying somebody's support. There's really only one circumstance, absent a court order, where it's a wash. And that is that mom and dad have the children the exact amount of days per year. So let's say, they have the child, 182.5 overnights a year. Each one with dad, each one with mom, 182.5, and they make the exact same amount of money. Well, then dad would owe mom X, mom would owe dad X, it becomes a wash. So that's really the only scenario. Is that likely to happen? Sometimes it is. We find that can happen because a lot of times people will meet each other, and the people that they have a relationship with and end up maybe even marrying or having a child with are people that they meet at work, and they meet them at work because they work the same shift. And who knows, if they're working the same shift, especially if it's a union job, they may be making exactly the same amount of money. So you got people working the same shift, same amount of money, they got one kid. Guess what? Support's going to be the same. Because if the overnights are equal with dad and equal with mom, everything else is equal. On the flip side, if they're working the same shift, making the same amount of money, but one of them has the child 5 overnights a week compared to the other one who only has them 2, there's going to be support being paid to the one who's got more overnights because he or she has more consumption that they have to deal with. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.